Good afternoon. Some of you may be thinking about spring cleaning, especially with our awesome warm February weather. But before you randomly drop off donations or have a big yard sale, let me introduce you to a new concept at a local thrift store, the East End Boutique. It's a project that will increase profits at the Salvation Army Family Thrift Store, and it's going to college credits for some marketing students at Augusta University. But first, the foster care system is in need of families. If you've ever considered fostering a child, please watch this segment. Reports show more than 19,000 children are victims of abuse or neglect in the state of Georgia, and many of those kids end up in foster care. According to the court-appointed Special Advocates Georgia Division, 300 of about 10,000 children in foster care pass through the system here in Augusta. In South Carolina, the Department of Social Services says about 4 out of 10 children find families. Across the country, the opioid crisis has impacted the number of kids in foster care.
Right now, there's just a lot more kids coming into care than having foster parents on hand to be able to place those children in homes instead of institutions.
A couple of the requirements to become a foster parent are a criminal records check, a medical examination, and a home safety check. And 2 people who know a lot about that are with me right now. Another representative of Georgia Mentor, Vonda Price, is here, and Vonda is the Family Development Manager. And we also have a foster parent with us, Elizabeth Lindroth. And I'm so glad that you were both here because I think it's really interesting, you know, when we hear your side talking about the need for foster care and the sometimes they have like an adoption fair, but they can do the same thing with encouraging people to foster.
Absolutely.
You know, even if you're not going to full on adopt, be a foster parent. But to actually have someone here who is in the process of fostering, I think is so beneficial. And Vonda, let me ask you first of all, because this is fascinating to me. The pain addiction, a lot of kids with pain prescription, drug abuse, that has contributed to the foster problem?
It's actually the parents being addicted to the pain medications that's causing the children to be removed from their biological families.
That makes sense, yes. The
Absolutely.
Parents' addiction,
Yes,
so children
yes.
are removed from the families.
Yes, temporarily till the state gives an opportunity for the parents to get themselves together.
And you offer services that help place children, but also give a lot of support to families who foster.
Absolutely. The children come into our care. We have the foster parents who we pride ourselves on giving excellent support to them as they provide a temporary home for these children in need with 24/7 emergency on-call services. We have ongoing education training, individualized service planning. We also provide what's called a mentor support group where they're able to meet with other foster parents and kind of be an ear to each other and support each other through this process.
That support group can make a big difference, can it?
Absolutely.
And of course, the bottom line in all of this, I think, is that you are totally impacting a child's life.
Absolutely.
You certainly see it on your end.
Yes, every day.
And Elizabeth, you're one of the ones who is helping make that difference. How did you and your husband decide that you wanted to foster?
We decided before we got married. We had always wanted to do that before we met each other, really. It was one of the things that made us realize we were a good match. And it was just a matter of waiting till we had space and time and the resources that we would need to foster a child.
You have one child right now.
We do.
And how old is that child?
She is 9.
You have a 9-year-old. So she is in school.
Yes.
And you parent this child right now.
Yes, we do. It's been an interesting thing to jump into a 9-year-old from nothing.
Yeah, because a 9-year-old certainly, I'm sure, has lots of feelings about the situation and maybe being
Definitely.
away from her parents or her mother or whatever.
Yes, I think that any child does, but especially a child that can remember more.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Old enough to remember more. Right.
Absolutely.
She is, but it's a good thing. We've been able to get her into therapy and really help her to find coping skills I think she's at an age, and a lot of children, before they hit their teen years, they're at an age where they can really learn to deal with things before it's a problem.
Right. Because she came from a dysfunctional family.
She did. She came from a family that had good and bad, and she has been encouraged by us and by others that invest in her to really remember both things. She really needs to remember the good things as well.
You speak so beautifully about this, Elizabeth, and you're agreeing with so much of what she's saying. There are a lot of children who come from abusive homes, but not all.
Not all. And a lot of reasons they come into care, what we try to explain to the family is not necessarily what the child has done. It may be what the parents have done. And it could be any one of us that may go through a bad situation, and the state gives them an opportunity to work on those things so they can get their child back.
And who then is the agency that works with that birth parent, the biological parent?
That is the Department of Family and Children's Services. They help the parents work through what they have a case plan. Just like the child with us has an individualized service plan that they work on in the foster parents' home. Yes, we continue their schooling, extracurricular activities, just things that a normal child would do.
There are people right now watching, I'm sure, who may be very interested in becoming a foster parent. How do you go about something like that?
Well, if you're interested in being a foster parent, we ask that you visit us on our website, which is www.makeadifferenceathome.com. And you can also reach out to us on our Georgia Facebook page, Georgia Mentor Facebook page.
Okay.
And then you can click on for more information.
And we mentioned briefly, background checks are certainly involved.
Yes.
And what does it matter if you have children of your own?
No, it does not matter. We just ask that you are at least 25 years of age, have an extra bedroom, you have to pass a criminal background check, medical clearance, drug screenings, and just basically have the heart and the patience to be a foster parent. Because it's something that you have to want to do.
Yeah. And like you said, Elizabeth, you and your husband, before you were even married, you both knew you wanted to do this.
Yes.
And how do you feel? Do you participate in the support? Do you try to mentor other people who are considering fostering?
I wouldn't say mentor, but I do talk about my experience with other families, and I do have a friend who is in the process of becoming a foster parent, and it's been fun to chat with her about that. And I wouldn't say mentor because I'm still so new. I have a lot of people mentoring me, but I am enjoying talking to other people about our experience. I love introducing our child to everyone, and it's a fun thing.
I think it is such a beautiful thing to do. I think fostering is wonderful. It takes such a loving and caring person to want to help shape a child. I'm sure you just want to love away some of the pain.
You do.
That's
you do.
That I guess that there's a lot of that.
And the most rewarding thing about it is you hear from the foster parents when the child has either gone back home or graduated from high school and moved on, is when they call them back during the holidays and say, "Thank you for taking care of me."
Okay, make me cry now.
I know.
But that's a great thing to do. Vonda, thank you so much for sharing this information with us. And Elizabeth, thank you for sharing your story and encouraging other people to foster. You can find the information that you need on our website. Vonda's got a lot of information, and we'll be able to direct you to her through the Jennie page on WJBF.com, or you can go to our Facebook page. We'll be back.
Next on Jennie, a fun way to thrift shop that benefits both your pocketbook and local college students. Find out about East End Boutique when we come back.